Will Rodman's mysterious end in Planet of the Apes. Undoubtedly, one of the most interesting characters in the Planet of the Apes universe was Will Rodman, Caesar's faithful friend in the last trilogy. This was a scientist who fought to save his father, but possibly caused the extinction of humanity. But what happened to him? Was he one of those people who died because of the simian flu? Did he become a mutant and now lives underground? Will we see something about this character in the new movie? In this video, we will be answering all these questions. And if you would like to know more about the Planet of the Apes universe, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Welcome to the Oasis Geek. Will Rodman will go down in history as one of the most complex and tragic figures in the Planet of the Apes world. He was the brilliant scientist whose quest to cure his father's Alzheimer's disease ended up triggering a global pandemic that decimated humanity and allowed the rise of a civilization of hyper-intelligent apes. Ironically, Will's original motivation was noble. His father Charles suffered from a degenerative disease, which led Will to develop the drug ALZ-112, with the goal of reversing mental deterioration. The drug proved to be effective in chimpanzees, especially Bright Eyes. However, the death of Bright Eyes after an incident in the lab led Will to an unexpected situation. He adopted Caesar, Bright Eyes' offspring. Will was intrigued by the possibility that Caesar had inherited his mother's genetic enhancements. The relationship between Will and Caesar evolves as Caesar displays extraordinary abilities. This presents a dilemma for Will, who must face the unintended consequences of his invention. Eventually, it becomes clear that Caesar possessed astonishing intelligence, the result of the hereditary effects of ALZ-112. Will hid this discovery while raising Caesar as a son. Meanwhile, Charles was making a miraculous recovery thanks to a stolen version of the drug. But eventually, the situation became untenable. After a violent incident defending Charles, Caesar was locked up in a primate sanctuary. Shortly thereafter, Charles died, just as Will was developing a more potent version, ALZ-113. This new virus, while effective in apes, proved to be lethal to humans. Will could only watch helplessly as his beloved Caesar launched a bloody ape rebellion that allowed his escape. Meanwhile, the ALZ-113 pandemic, or simian flu, was sweeping the world. The last thing Will heard from Caesar was when he found him hiding in the woods with his followers. Caesar declared that he had found his true home. Since then, Will's fate has remained a mystery, shrouded in silence and uncertainty. After his separation from Caesar, his character vanishes from the story, leaving a void full of questions. What happened to this central character after his separation from the ape he had raised as a son? First, let's talk about crazy theories they could bring to the new movie. One such theory suggests that Will, the scientist behind the drug ALZ-112, may have escaped his city in the chaos and become one of the first mutants. Mutants, according to this theory, are individuals who have chosen to live underground, away from both humans and apes on the surface. It is speculated that these mutants could be scientists or former members of the government who sought refuge in subway bunkers to survive the apocalypse unleashed by the virus. In this context, Will's presence takes on special significance. Given his deep understanding of the virus and ape behavior, Will would be a logical and valuable addition to this group of survivors. Could Will have been a key player in the survival of this underground community? This theory raises the possibility that Will may have been considered a vital resource in the efforts to find a cure for the virus. His experience and knowledge would make him a figure of immense value in a post-apocalyptic world. Perhaps he was one of those early mutants. Another theory proposes that perhaps Will was sent on a time travel ship. After the disastrous ending of Beneath the Planet of the Apes, the way to bring characters from the past into the new films was through time travel. In the same way, we could see James Franco reinterpret Will again. If before humanity was completely extinct, Will was sent into space and he traveled through time, arriving at a time in the future where the world is destroyed. This could perhaps link the previous trilogy with the new one. But this theory would perhaps be something of the displeasure of many, because it would be again using time travel to justify the appearance of other characters, something that is worn out in the movies. But then, what do I think was the end of Will, or what is the end of Will officially? In an interview in 2014, one of the producers of the last trilogy, named Dylan Clark, explained what Will's ending was, and what he revealed is something quite tragic, and that we could see in the future of this universe. According to Dylan, Will and Caroline were among the first victims of the ALZ-113 virus. Supposedly, it was a form of punishment for initiating the downfall of humanity. The idea that Will and Caroline died because of the virus suggests that there is more story to be told about them. One way to do this could be through a prequel, where we would see James Franco play Will again. In this prequel, viewers would have the opportunity to see the critical moments when these characters faced the virus, providing a glimpse into their final days and how they fought the infection. This additional storyline would not only give us more details about how Will and Caroline tried to survive, but would also show us how things deteriorated around them. We could see how the virus situation evolved from an unknown threat to a full-blown pandemic, and how Will, being a scientist, reacted to this crisis. Did he try to find a cure? How did he interact with other characters during this time, especially Caesar? Also, this prequel could explore Will's emotions and thoughts in his final days. What were his hopes, fears, and regrets? How did he handle the idea of his impending end? Another way to tell this part of the story would be through a series on a streaming platform. This format would allow the plot to develop in more detail, offering more time to explore not only Will's life, but also the reactions and experiences of other secondary characters. We would be able to see how different people and communities coped with the crisis, providing a broader view of the impact of the virus on society. But tell me, what do you think of all this? Would you like to see Will's ending in his own story, or do you think it would be better to add it to future stories with time travel? And for more videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You are on The Oasis Geek.